Howdy folks, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Star Trek Online. So for this episode we're taking a little departure from the main storyline. We're doing story missions and we're going to do an advanced look at the duty officer system. So much earlier in the series we done a basic introduction obviously into the duty officer system. And there's a few other things I want to touch on now, and sort of, delve a little bit deeper into the overall system. And the first thing I want to talk about is assignment chains. So if we open up the duty officer window here, we're all very well aware of normal duty officer missions. They're categorized into different commendations, so like marauding, science, engineering, exploration, espionage, and so on. But every now and then you might come across a mission that looks a little like this one here for espionage. Clandestine meeting with Farasan contact, 2 of 10. If you ever see anything like that, whether it's, in this case, 2 of 10, it could be 1 of 7, 3 of 5 or whatever, it means it's an assignment chain and that there are more parts to the overall, well, maybe not mission, but just that it's an assignment chain. There's a bunch of these scattered throughout the galaxy in-game. The majority in space, some on ground, but the vast majority are all found in space maps. And the missions vary. Like, for example, this one is an espionage mission, but 3 of 10 might be an engineering mission. And all you have to do is meet the requirements in order to complete the mission. So, for example, this particular mission requires a saurian brandy, which I am lacking because you can see it's sort of highlighted in red here. So I cannot kick off this mission because I don't have the saurian brandy. We can do a little bit of research into these assignment chains though. If you see over here on the left hand side, we have assignment chains, and we click on them and we get a list of all currently active assignment chains that we have started. So if you have not begun an assignment chain, it will not appear here. It is only after you complete the first step, so let's say 1 of 10 or 1 of 7 or 6 of 7 or 1 of 6 is what I meant. Once you complete the first step, then it will appear in here. And let's find one. I'm actually looking for the one that we've got there. Actually, no, here's the easiest thing. Filter by completed, take it off, and we just have in progress. Okay, let's start down the bottom here. Nebulas Clusters. No, I'm going to talk about those later. Where was it? It's not even shown here. What is that? Oh, this is it. This is the one. Alright, so that one that we needed the saurian brandy for, that's this one. It's titled Unforgiven of Farasa. And we can see here we have the first step completed, which was a development mission. That's what that icon represents there. And the second step, or 2 of 10, is an intelligence or espionage mission. The third one is going to be a marauding, then we'll have trade, then we'll have military, then we'll have, I believe that's science. It could be, that's probably exploration. Oh, wait a minute, no. That's medical. This is science. This is engineering. This is colonial, and back to military again. So you can get an idea on where these missions will likely turn up. So, for example, I don't know if it will work with this one now, but let's see. We said that was an espionage one. So if I click on department heads and I try security, will it appear here? No. Will it appear under tactical? It may or may not. It does indeed. Right. So sometimes missions will not appear here, but they will appear under your department heads. And in this case, we went to tactical and we scroll down to espionage, and sure enough, there is 2 of 10 for this clandestine meeting. And you can track the progress of all the various assignment chains here, and you can get an idea. Right, my next mission is going to be a marauding mission. The one after that is going to be a trade mission, and the next one after that is going to be a military. And you can get an idea of where to look to find the next mission. Now, ones like this one that are clearly marked as uncommon. Well, alright, what I'll talk about first are these ones. These ones are all classified as common. So what common means is they're always available, okay? Basically, when the sector updates, so for example here, we have 39 minutes until the sector updates. When it does, these missions will still be available as long as you've done the previous mission, or missions. So, I have done the step 1 of 10, so this mission will always be available even when the sector updates every 4 hours. However, uncommon missions, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but believe me when believe me with what I'm about to say. These ones, I think, appear every 8 hours. So 4 hours on, 4 hours off. So in 38 minutes now, if this mission was available now, when the sector updates in 38 minutes, it would be unavailable then for 4 hours. And once that 4 hours is up, then the mission becomes available again. I think that's how it works. It might be 8 hours. So 4 hours available and 8 hours unavailable. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't been able to find a hard and fast set of rules for it, but I guarantee you that once it's available and when the sector updates, I guarantee you it will be unavailable then for a set amount of time. Now, if I open up the map here, you might wonder, like, how the hell are you supposed to find these assignment chains? Well, some of them are very, very easy, and the ones that I want to draw your attention to now are particularly easy. If you notice this icon here that we've zoomed into, Dekel Star Cluster, okay? And if we zoom out, we can see there's another one here, Azlea Expanse. We've got the Harami Cluster, we've got the Crucius Arm, we've got the Delta Volanus Cluster, and we've got more up here, the Fahir Nebula, the Betrang Cluster, Kazan Cluster, and the Iridan Belt. And there's another one down here as well, the Iridan Nebula. Every one of those nebulas or clusters that has this icon has an assignment chain attached to it. And if you look here, you can see we're right beside one, Tongue Nebula Duty Officer Assignments. So you can see in the minimap here, it has that icon. And every one of those locations within, oh, by the way, these are only in the alpha and beta quadrants, okay? If I open up the galaxy map, we are currently in the beta quadrant, and again, you can see, look, there's the icon for the one that we're at now, the Tongue Nebula, there's the Dekel Star Cluster. If I go into alpha quadrant, we can see here Bactreca Nebula, over here we have the Xenos Expanse, and then the Rolar Nebula. Alright, so nebulas and cluster missions, or duty officer missions, are only available in the alpha and beta quadrants currently. So anyway, we open this up, and this is what it will look like for the first time that you come here. And we can see 1 of 7. This is an assignment chain, and it has 7 steps. And the mission just requires a few basic duty officers and a couple of astrometric probes, and it lasts for 1 hour, and you get pretty standard rewards for completing the mission. So we start that mission off, okay? And in 1 hour's time, we will have 2 of 10 available to us, okay? And I believe that mission is a 20-hour mission. Now, from when you start off one of these nebula or cluster assignment chains, it'll take about a week for you to complete all 7 steps. It can be done in a shorter period of time, but you're better off just to say about a week, and it does very much depend upon how much time you can put into the game. You know, if you can check fairly regularly, you know, that you're looking for the particular mission, the next step, and remember the sector updates every 4 hours. So if you're around for an 8-hour period, you should be able to check 2 or 3 of the cycles. But yeah, what I want to show you now is what it looks like when you get to the 7th step. And here's the good part about these particular missions. Every single one of these Nebula or Cluster duty officer assignment chains, every single one of them have rare, or we'll say unique duty officers attached to them. So here we have Dekel Star Cluster Renown. This is the final mission for this particular assignment chain, and every one of those nebulas and clusters will look this way. So the Bektreka Nebula Renown, 7 of 7, that's what that one would be titled. The Betran Cluster Renown, 7 of 7. The Harami Cluster Renown, 7 of 7. Basically just the location name changes, and it'll be finished off with Renown and then 7 of 7. But if you look here with this icon, we can see we get a special duty officer, and every single one of these nebulas or clusters will give you a rare quality unique duty officer. So a rare duty officer is blue, and every single one of these in game will give you a free blue duty officer. Okay, so we complete that mission, or we kick off that mission, and it's going to take 15 minutes. So there's about roughly about a dozen nebulas or clusters in game altogether. So that's quite a few free blue quality duty officers for you, just for completing all 7 steps in each of the various locations. The next thing that I want to talk about is, once you have completed the 7th step in the nebula or cluster assignment chains, alright, now this is only specific to the nebulas and clusters, it unlocks a brand new mission that is 100% repeatable. Okay, it is an uncommon mission, so it's not always available. So if you go to a nebula or cluster and it's not available, it might be available when the sector next updates. Like I said, I haven't been able to nail down for sure the actual cycle, the cycling process of the duty officer missions. I haven't been able to nail it down specifically, but if it's not available when you check, the next time the sector updates, and if you return, it might be available on the following cycle. Now, crap. This is where I wanted to go. The thing is, with this new mission that is unlocked, if you get a critical success on that mission once you complete it, you get a free purple quality duty officer, and you can farm this to your heart's content. And every single one of these nebulas and clusters that have duty officer assignment chains attached to them all have different free purple duty officers. So for example, the Harami cluster here, the free purple duty officer that you can get from completing this bonus mission that is unlocked after completing all 7 steps is a free astrometric scientist. The Delta Volanus cluster rewards a free purple doctor. The Betran cluster rewards a free purple technician. I want to highlight this one in particular. If you are using an Oxtabat build, you know that you need 3 purple technicians in order to effectively build an Oxtabat build. You can get all 3 of them from the Barracks cluster for free. Granted, it's going to take time, but that's all. It will not cost you anything else. You can farm 3 of them here or more to your heart's content, and it won't cost you a penny. And not a lot of players know that. And again, I'm putting my hands up. Granted, it's going to take time. It can take anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks, depending on how much time you can put into the game, and you know how often you can check the Barracks cluster for the particular mission that we're looking for, and depending on whether or not you get a critical success off it. So how do you identify that mission? Well, hopefully it's going to be available here, because I've planned for it to be available. Yes. So this is the mission here. Support Aslea expansion efforts. The title will be exactly the same, but the location will be different for each of the nebulas or clusters. So for example, support Harami cluster expansion efforts, support Batran cluster expansion efforts, support Delta Valanus expansion efforts. Okay, if you're playing this on the Federation side, it will be support Delta Valanus colonization efforts. So instead of expansion, it'll be colonization efforts. And basically what I look for when I'm searching for this mission, I scroll down and I'm looking here under the result, okay? And when I see this icon, okay, crap, this icon here, I don't know again, which represent as a special duty officer, I know I found the mission that I'm looking for. And if we go to plan this mission now, we can see I have a 1% chance of a disaster, in which case I'll get no rewards. I have a 1% chance of a failure, in which case I'll get no rewards. I have a 68% chance, which I have a 68% chance for a normal success. If I get a normal success, I will get all of those basic rewards, and the duty officer I will get on the KDF side is a prisoner. Sorry, I had to think there for a second. I'll get a prisoner for a normal success. If, however, I get a critical success, I will get a free purple quality duty officer. What that duty officer is depends on the location. So remember I said the Barracks cluster gives out free purple technicians, Delta Valanus gives out free purple doctors, and Harami cluster gives out free purple astrometric scientists, and so on. You will also get a prisoner. So for here, I can't remember what one I get for here, to be honest. But I get a free purple quality duty officer and a free prisoner. If I get a critical success. If I get a normal success, I just get a prisoner. Simple as that. If I'm doing this on the Federation side, for a normal success, you get a refugee. I think it's a refugee. It's either a refugee or a colonist. And for a critical success on the Federation side, you get the free purple quality duty officer and either a refugee or a colonist. And again, I know I'm hashing on this, but each location has a specific duty officer attached to it. Right, so we kick that off, and in 4 hours we will know whether we got a normal success or critical success. Now, what does it look like between the two? Well, I've actually gone ahead and I've completed 2 of them so that you guys can see. And we can see here, support Iridan Nebula expansion efforts, and I got a normal success. So, my reward was a prisoner, and that's what I got. I just got the normal XP and a little bit of dilithium, and duty officer I got was a prisoner. It's not what I was going for. So I would basically repeat the mission again to try and get the purple duty officer if that's what I was working on. So I'm going to collect that now. However, Support Harami cluster expansion efforts. You can see I got a critical success for that one. And the free purple Judy officer I got is a free astrometrics scientist, and I also got a prisoner for getting the critical success. And you can see the XP and so on, and the lithium is a little bit higher compared to the normal success that we just got there a moment ago. So I'm going to collect that one as well. I can't collect this yet, so don't worry about that. Right. So just to rehash, these nebulas and clusters, there's about a dozen of them or so in-game, roughly. They're between the alpha and beta quadrants. Each one has a 7-part assignment chain. Once you complete all 7 parts, it unlocks a free bonus mission that I just showed you. Alright, we'll go into what do you call it, in progress, and we find it, where are you? Here. Alright, and pay attention. See, it's not like this one here, 3 of 7, or even this one up here, 7 of 7, or 1 of 7. Alright, there's no of 7. It's not part of an assignment chain. This, once all 7 steps have been completed, this is the mission that is unlocked. Just the location changes, alright? And there's no of 7 or anything like that. Some people get confused with that. They complete all 7 steps, and then they think that they have to repeat the mission 7 of 7, and they're looking for this 7 of 7, and it will never appear again. It takes them ages, like I'm talking about weeks or months, before they realize their mistake. A lot of players fall into that trap, so that's why I'm kind of hashing on this a bit, to make sure you understand that once you complete all 7 steps, you will never see 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 7 of 7 ever again. You'll never see the assignment chain number on a mission again. So yeah, that's important to keep in mind. The titles are always the same, except for the location. Just the location name will change in the title. It's a little bit different on the Fed and KDF side. The titles change a little bit. So in this instance, it's support location expansion efforts. On the Federation side, it's support location colonization efforts instead of expansion efforts. And yeah, that's a lot of free purple doffs, just for you putting in a bit of time. And each one, like I said, will take roughly about a week, depending on how much time you can put into the game. Assignment chains in general, there are about, it's either 32 or 35 assignment chains in total that are in the game. Remember now, I said there was about a dozen for the nebulas and clusters, but in total, including ones like this one, clandestine meeting with Faras and Contact, including ones like that, in total there's about, it's either 32 or 35, I can't remember which. If you really want to know, hit me up and I'll check and I'll give you a definite answer, because I have it done every single one on my main. So if it's something that you really want to know the answer to, leave a comment down below and I will definitely get you the answer. But yeah, there's about 32 or 35. It's one of those two numbers. I guarantee you it's one of those two numbers that are available, and they're spread out all over the place. The majority, as I said, they are in space. Some of them, though, can be on ground. And I've already talked to you about talking to your department heads to look for those specific assignment chains. Anyway, right, that's enough on assignment chains. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is commendations. Now, I can't remember how much I went in depth with commendations in our basic introduction, but in total, there's 11 different commendations, right? Each one of these is commendations. And as you already know, duty officer missions are categorized into different commendations. So we have here 2 marauding missions, and if we look at results, or what the rewards are, we get 449 experience points, we get 53 expertise, and we get 227 Marauder XP. Okay, so if we do that mission now, and when it completes, we will get 227 XP added on to this number here. Okay, so every time you do a duty officer mission, you're not only getting normal XP and experience, you're also getting commendation experience for doing a mission in that particular commendation category. And as you do more and more missions, it adds up, and you rank up within that commendation. You can go from rank 0 all the way up to rank 4, which is 100,000 XP. And as you can see here, the first 7 commendations I have here are all over rank 4. There's a minimum of 100,000 XP in all of them. Now, clearly you can go above 100,000 XP, and you can go up to a cap of 150,000 XP in each individual commendation. I'm trying to think where to go from there. I've kind of come into a fork in the road. You might wonder, why would you want to go beyond 100,000 XP? Like, why would you want to get 150,000 XP? Well, there is a mission, there's a console available at your fleet starbase. And for every 10,000 XP over 100,000 XP, you can turn that 10,000 XP in for fleet marks, basically. And it's a duty officer mission. There is no failure option on it whatsoever. And you can only get a success or a critical success. There's only 2 options. There is no third option. And actually, do you know what? I'm going to go to the fleet starbase now, and I'll actually show you guys where this console is and how the whole process actually works. And it's very, very simple. It is. It's absolute child's play. There's nothing difficult about it at all. Yeah, it's basically all you have to do is go to your fleet starbase, you interact with the console, and you select the commendation and you start the mission. That's it. It's a couple of clicks. That's all what it is. Sorry about that. That's my phone going off in the background there. So just a few clicks is all that it is, really. And it's a very, very good way of building up fleet marks. What I actually do is, on my main anyway, my main character, I build up all my commendations up to 150,000 XP. And when there's a bonus marks weekend, then I turn in all of that extra XP in for these duty officer missions, and I get a boatload of fleet marks. Now, on a normal day, a normal success... Actually, wait here, look. Alright, so this is the transporter room, alright, or transporter pad, and this is the direction we're going. And we're going to jump across this railing, and we're going to go over here to this console, and we click on first of all, let's open up the duty officer window. We don't have to, but let's click on file commendations. So we can see we can file reports for marauding, science, engineering, military, exploration, espionage, medical, but we can't do it for colonization, trade, development, or recruitment. Why is that? Because those ones are not over 110,000 XP. They're not even at 100,000 XP. They're still leveling. So let's take note of this number here. All right, basically 115,000 XP. So if I do the marauding mission, that should drop down to 105,000 XP. Okay, so I'm going to select marauding mission. it opens up the duty officer window. We can see it gives a little bit of XP as a reward, and it takes 10,000 Marauder XP. Okay, and again we can see that there is a success chance and a critical success chance. There is no failure or disaster options on this mission whatsoever. Right, I was kind of hoping for a better duty officer to do that mission to increase my crit chance, but I don't, so it's not that big of a deal. So in 8 hours time, I will either get a normal success or a critical success from this mission. If I get a normal success, I will get 75 marks. If I get a critical success, I'll get 100 marks. Okay? So imagine now, if I had all of these up above 110,000 XP, there's 11 of these here, okay? And if I'm doing this over a bonus marks weekend, that can add up to about 5,000 marks over a bonus marks weekend, if you can get all of them done from 150,000 back down to 100,000. Oh, and that's one thing, you can never drop below 100,000 XP. So if you have 109,999 XP, you will not be able to run one of these missions. You need one more XP to bring you up to 110,000 before you'll be able to run one of these missions. Okay, so keep that in mind. And oh yeah, we forgot about this. Look, sure enough, it has gone down to 105,000 XP from its 115,000 XP. Right. Okay, so that's a really good way of earning fleet marks, and it's something useful to do with them. And I've told you how much you get and what you get over a bonus marks weekend, and you know, a reason why to keep on working on this stuff even when you have hit rank 4. I'm not going to do the rest now because I want to build it up for a bonus marks weekend, but I've done that one just for an example to show you guys. Right, the next thing I want to talk about is the different ranks for the different commendations. So if we click on marauding, we can see here we have rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. And every one of these commendations, so if I click on science, they all work the same way, okay? See? Every one of them has a rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright? But we'll go back to Marauder. One thing that you get from leveling up each of the various commendation categories is free duty officers. And if we look at rank 1 here, we can see we can select a single green quality duty officer just for hitting rank 1. And rank 1 is 2,500 XP. For hitting rank 2, we get a single quality green duty officer. Again, same as rank 1. And that's 15,000 XP. For rank 3, we get to select a single blue quality duty officer, and that's 50,000 XP. And rank 4, we get to select a actually, Marauder is a bad one to show. I want to talk about that later. Rank 4 here on science. Select a single purple quality duty officer. Alright, that's a much better one to show you. So you get green here, blue here, and purple here. Alright? And there's 11 commendations. So that's 44 free duty officers that are waiting for you just for leveling up the various commendations. It's not bad. 44 free duty officers. And 11 of them are purple quality. 11 are blue quality, and 22 of them are green quality. So if you're finding it hard to get duty officers for completing missions, there's a whole bunch that you can get for free. And once you're actively working on it, it's not that difficult at all to start earning XP. Believe me, it really isn't. Now, we're going to go down to the Klingon Academy. And Klingon Academy. Because I want to show you guys where you get these free duty officers for ranking up in the duty officer system. To be honest, I'm actually a little bit hazy myself as well, because it's been so long since I've done it on the KDF side, but I have an idea where it is. So here's Klingon Academy. There's the monument in the middle, and there's, remember the Nausicaan and Gorn that we recruited from? They're there. And down here then we have the services area. So this is where we're going to. And he's either on the right. I'm gonna say he's on the left. I'm nearly sure this is the guy. No, it's not. Dang it! Is this the guy? Store. Yes, it is. Okay, so you want to come in here and you want to talk to Lieutenant Stats, or whatever, Stats. I'm putting a T in there and I don't need it. Anyway, talk to him, select store, and along the left hand side here you can see you have all 11 commendation categories. And down at the bottom here you can see you have tokens. We'll call them tokens. And we have one for tier 1, which is basically rank 1, one for tier 2, which is rank 2, one for tier 3, which is rank 3, and one for tier 4, which is rank 4 in the marauding category. So these ones are for rank 1, 2, and clearly the blue ones are for rank 3. So this is any of the blue ones are rank 3 in marauding, and the purple ones are for rank 4 in marauding. So I can pick any one of these guys, any one of these purple guys, and use that token. Alright, so this is where you get your free duty officers that I was referring to here. Okay. Yeah, and sure enough I do have one for marauding as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, what else did I want to show you down here that was attached to that? So this is where you get your free 44 duty officers. There's a nice selection of them, so choose wisely, see what you need, and yeah, you can pick them up there. If I click on, actually, what did I say? Trade isn't done yet. So here's a good example of what it looks like when it's not complete. So we're at, I think it's rank 2 for trade. See here, I do not have enough tier 3 trade duty officer tokens. So I cannot get the rank 3 guys yet, because I'm not yet rank 3 in trade. And the same here for the purple guys, or the rank 4 guys. Right, so that's where you get them. Now, another thing I want to show you is relating specifically to engineering, military, and medical. Along with getting your free green duty officers, your blue duty officer, and your purple duty officer, engineering, military, and medical also have this here. May replicate a white emergency medical hologram. At rank 2, may replicate a green emergency medical hologram. At rank 3, may replicate a blue emergency medical hologram. And you've guessed it, at rank 4, may replicate a purple emergency medical hologram. And if we look at engineering, we've got the same thing, except it's emergency engineering hologram, and for military it's an emergency security hologram, and we get them for all 4 ranks. So you might ask yourself, where the hell do I get those? Well, it's the key is in the wording, may replicate. So you open up your inventory, you click on replicator, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom. Ta-da! There they are. Here's my doctors, or my medical holograms. Here's my security holograms. And here's my engineering holograms. So the common quality holograms cost 1,000 energy credits. Because they're coming from the replicator, they cost energy credits. The uncommon ones cost 10,000 energy credits. The blue or rare quality ones cost 100,000 energy credits, and the purple ones cost 1 million energy credits. So there's, what, 4, 8, 12, 16 free duty officers that you can get as well. It'll cost you a little bit of EC, but if you're really stuck for duty officers, there's even more that you can get, and you got those just for leveling up engineering, military, and medical. Okay? Right. Next, we want to go to the first city. Bit of a slow load. So, I'm going to open up the duty officer window again, and I'm going to click on marauding this time. Now, one thing you may have noticed earlier, for rank 4, we had this option here. Select a single bridge officer from an enemy faction. That is one of the rewards for getting to rank 4 in the marauding commendation category. And where you go for that is actually in here in the barracks. So we just came out of the transporter room, we ran straight across pretty much, and we're going into the barracks here. And if we head over to this guy, you can talk to this dude, okay, and you can get an enemy faction bridge officer, or BOF. And we can see we have Andorians, Andorian engineering, male and female variant, Ferengi engineering, male, female variant, human engineering, male, female variant, and Trill engineering, male, female variant. Then we go back into Andorians, but it's for science this time, and the very same species once again, and then you go into tactical, and the very same species once again. So, yeah. It's kind of cool. To be honest with you, it's a little bit more valuable on the Federation side. So on the Federation side, it's rank 4 in diplomacy. And what you want to do is you want to get the Nausicaan on the Federation side as your enemy faction bridge officer. The reason for that is because the Nausicaan has the pirate trait. And the pirate trait is a space trait, and it can boost your outgoing damage by a nice little bit. Nothing huge, but just a little bit. And every little bit helps or counts. My recommendation, actually just want to quickly check here. Yeah, Ferengi shouldn't have anything. Nope. Human should have leadership, and Trill should have nothing. Nope. Okay. My recommendation, if you are going to pick from this list, whether it be engineering, tactical, or science, go for the human. Here's why. If you see on the human, just below space abilities, it says leadership plus hull regen rate. That is a space trait. And it's a trait inherent to only humans. Only humans have leadership trait, not unless it's a very specialized bridge officer. But generally, it's only humans that have the leadership trait, and it's pretty good for tanking. It can help with, obviously, your whole regen rate, so it goes hand in hand with tanking. So if you are going for any of them, I recommend going with the human, because none of the other races have any space traits attached to them. It's only the human. If you're playing on the Federation side and it's for your rank 4 diplomacy, I recommend going for the Nausicaan. Yeah, so that's that. Right, okay, we're flying through things now. There's one more thing I want to talk about, and we're going to open up the duty officer window again to talk about that. However, this time we're going to open the roster. And what I want to talk about are these two options here, active space and active ground. And if we click on it, we can see over here we have open positions, and we have 5 of them. And here then we have our roster of available duty officers. And what you... Well, actually, no, I'll start this way. If you notice, and you've probably seen this already a long time ago, each one of these duty officers, they all have something attached to them. So for example, this one, chance to restore shields when taking damage while brace for impact is active. This one, chance to reduce the time to recharge torpedoes. This one, time to reduce recharge time reduced for tactical team and buff. So every duty officer has something like this, okay? And what that means is, if you put that duty officer onto active service, you will benefit from whatever that particular buff is. So I'm going to sort mine by very rare, and I'm going to take a look at what very rare space duty officers I have. So this one, recharge time reduced for tactical team and buff. It's not bad. Debuff targets offensive damage with sensor scan. I don't have or use sensor scan, so that's useless for me. Do you remember that astrometric scientist we got for the critical success in the Harami cluster? That's this duty officer here. Recharge time reduced on all transwarp abilities. This is really, really good. And if we right click on the duty officer, we can see here, recharge time reduced on use of any transwarp ability, plus 200% cooldown. Put on active service, thank you very much. So I have a 200% reduction on my transwarp cooldowns now, because this duty officer I have just put onto my active crew. Okay, really, really good. I'm going to put this one on as well, because I'm using tactical team, so it's going to be useful for me. So I'm going to put him on active duty as well. This one is completely useless for me anyway, because I'm not using that ability, and you need to know what abilities you're using and if it's going to affect you at all. Right, since I don't have any more very rares for space, I'm going to now organize by rare or blue quality. Chance to reduce the recharge time when using subsystem targeting attacks, don't really do it. Chance to reduce the recharge time, same thing again. Chance to reduce the recharge time torpedoes, don't use them. Torpedoes again. Damage resistance buff with ramming speed and brace for impact, don't really use them. Debuff targets offensive damage with sensor scan, don't use it. Chance to reduce the recharge time of deflector abilities. Yes, I do use deflector abilities, and if I right click on this guy, we can see here, chance to reduce the time for all deflector abilities to recharge after use. Affected abilities include Tachyon Beam, which I use, Energy Siphon, Tychon's Rift, which I use, Gravity Well, which I use, and Breen Energy Dissipator. 20% chance, set recharge time to 60% of normal recharge time. Thank you very much, you're going on active service. That is a nice little buff there. What do we have here? Recharge time reduced for all transwarp, no. Return photonic abilities, chance to placate when charged particle burst, no. Drain target shields with tractor beam, don't use them. Sensor scan, don't use it. Right, now we're going to move on to uncommons and take a look at these guys. Now there's one here that I really, really want. Chance to placate when using placate, Jesus Christ. Recharge time of photonic abilities, don't use it. Recharge time reduced for science team and buff, don't use it. Chance to create an aftershock gravity well, I use gravity wells. And chance to create up to 2 additional gravity wells near the end of the duration of any gravity well activated. 25% chance create an additional gravity well after 12 seconds, 20% chance create an additional gravity well after 14 seconds. So because I use gravity wells, yeah, I would prefer that one to be a purple, but this is the best I have for now, so I'm going to use it. Now one thing I want to draw your attention to is this icon here. Okay? This icon means that this particular duty officer is bound to my character, meaning I cannot move it off my character. I cannot trade it to another person, I cannot sell it on the exchange, I cannot move it to another character. If you notice here, this duty officer doesn't have that icon, meaning I can trade it to another person, I can sell it on the exchange, I can transfer it to another character on my account. But here's the thing. Once I put him on active duty, I get this warning here. Putting this duty officer on active space duty will permanently bind him to your crew. And look what happens when I hit OK. He gets that icon. He is now locked to this character, and I cannot remove it. Impossible. I cannot remove that lock off that character now. So be sure that you're putting the right ones on your active service when you're doing this. Okay, very, very important to remember that. I want to see if I can... Oh yeah, here's another question. Can you put more than one duty officer on... So let's say another gravimetric scientist with the same effect as this guy. Some of them you can, some of them you can't. And what I mean by that is some careers you can put more than one of a certain type on. Some careers you cannot. How do you know? To be perfectly honest, your best bet is to go to STO Gamepedia and look it up, or even just Google it, and you should get your answer. But if you want to put 2 on, so let's say here, chance to create an aftershock gravity well, same as this guy. I want to put him on active service. You cannot equip more than one of this item of that category. So I cannot put 2 of those guys on because it wouldn't let me put this guy on. Okay? So there, I just got my answer. The notification will pop up saying that you cannot put more than one of that type on. If it can, then it will let you, obviously, but Google it and you should find the answer. There is no hard or fast set rules. Like, I don't know all of them. In fact, I know very few of them, to be honest. But some do, some don't. And I realize that I'm basically telling you that you have to have a second one on your possession before you can tell. But bear in mind, I did say Google it, or check SDO Gamepedia to look it up before you go making any purchases. But be mindful that there are certain ones that you cannot put more than one version of that guy on your crew. Yeah, right, let's see, what other ones? Chance to reduce the recharge time for emergency power to subsystem abilities. I don't think I'm using emergency power to subsystems, am I? Well, I am, yeah. Yeah, this guy's gonna be good. Chance to reduce the time for all emergency power to subsystem abilities to recharge after use. 25% chance to reduce time by 30%. That's not bad. I would prefer a power boost. A power boost will be actually much better. Recharge time to bridge officer abilities. No, that's the technician. Another technician. Recharge time reduced for engineering team buff. Chance to immobilize enemies. No. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm going with this guy. Put him on active service. Boom. Excuse me. Right. We can do this for ground as well. Not only space. As we can see, I don't have any purples, so I'm going to go to rares. Chance to beam in additional support drone. Maybe. I am an engineer. I do call in drones now and then, but it's not the best. Yeah, I'd prefer something a little bit more useful. So, not really much there. We'll go to uncommons. Chance to reduce the recharge time of grenades. I'm not tactical. Chance to beam down additional security. I'm not a tactical. Reduce recharge time for combat supply. Don't use it. Chance to reduce cooldown. Don't use it. Don't use it. Debuff when science. No, not science. Not science. Dang. Wow, I really have. Yeah, I suppose I do need to work on these guys a bit. Right, beam down additional security. No. Chance to beam in an additional phaser disruptor or plasma turret. I do use that, so yeah, I'm gonna put him on. Security team, grenades. Can I put another one of those on? Nope, I can only put on one. Chance to beam in additional support drone. No. Increase range, equipment, no. Diagnostic, they're all the same. Sport drone diagnostics, combat supply, here we are. Chance to beam in an additional quantum mortar. Yes, I do use that. Thank you very much, you go on. Let's see if I can put another one of this guy on. Nope. Restart time for combat supply, quantum mortar, reduce cooldown, no. 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 And no. So, basically, when you're trying to decide which ones to push on active service, or, when you're trying to decide that, you want to look for what marries up with your build and your abilities. Okay? If you are not using a particular ability, then don't put a duty officer on active service that's going to buff an ability that you are not using. It's just a waste. So that's what I was doing there. I was looking through the entire list to find what I was using to figure out, which ones to push onto service. So I can actually put this guy on now because I know I don't have anything better. And that's basically it. To be honest, this is actually the last thing that I do. When I create a new character, this is the very last thing that I do. A lot of players forget about this. And I leave it to last because I want to make sure that I have my build set up and functioning properly. And the other reason is this can get very expensive. If you're looking to purchase very specific duty officers off the exchange to boost certain areas of your build, it can get very pricey. And I mean very, very pricey. So that's another reason why I leave this to the very end. It's the last thing that I do. So yeah. But look, just like what I've done now, I've picked the best out of what I have. So, you do the same thing as well. Go with what you've got. And I've shown you how to get a crap ton of new duty officers. And I mean good quality duty officers. Purples. Purples are like, they're right up there. It's nearly, the highest. You can get ultra rares and epics, but there's only a handful of those in game. In fact, there's even less than a handful in game. But the majority are going to be very rares, and I've shown you how to get a lot of them. So anyway, we've we've talked about the engineering, military, and medical holograms. We've talked about the free DOS for each rank of commendation for all 11 commendations. We've talked about rank 4 marauding and the enemy faction bridge officer. We've talked about the commendations and the caps up to 150,000 and turning that in for XP, or not XP, for fleet marks. And we've talked about active space and ground slots and abilities and sort of do's and don'ts. And we've also covered assignment chains, and the assignment chains in a lot of detail, I suppose I must admit. So yeah, that's an advanced guide or look into the duty officer system. One other thing, while it's occurred to me, you can increase your active space and active ground slots by 1 from the fleet spire. So instead of having 5 active space, you can purchase a 6th slot at your fleet spire, assuming your spire is high enough level. It is pricey. It's like 100,000 fleet credits or 150,000 fleet credits, but I think you can see from some of these abilities that you can benefit from duty officers. An extra 1 can make a big difference. It can make a big difference to your build. So in my opinion, it is well worth it. It is definitely well worth it, because a single good duty officer that works for your loadout and your abilities can make a big difference. So yeah, you can expand this one up to 6 slots and this one up to 6 slots. So yeah, that's an advanced look into the duty officer system. I don't think there's much else I can talk about specifically regarding the duty officer system. We've already talked about R&D and upgrading, which are kind of connected to duty officers. Well, they are connected to duty officers, but it's not part of the duty officer system per se. So yeah, we'll finish up here for now. Thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I appreciate all of your support. It's been absolutely fantastic. And believe me, every single like, every single comment that you guys leave, it all helps. It helps the channel. It helps the videos, you know, get picked up by, you know, the algorithms in YouTube, you know, so that viewers or, you know, people searching through YouTube can find the channel and videos and see that they're getting good content. So every single like that you guys leave and comment you leave, you're bumping it up there, and you're increasing the chances that other players are going to come across the content. So I really appreciate all of your help so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. Anyway, my name is Winters, and I'll see you next time. So until then, take care.